Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today's our lesson is exercise Chinese New Year's, and we will solve this exercise. The lesson we have already studied, so let's go forward. Today we will solve 3 questions. We will try to explore the answer to those questions. The first topic that we are going to start, I would like to ask you some questions. So please answer these questions. The first question is, what do we call the parents and children all together? What do we call the parents and children all together? Shabash. Good. And the answer is family. Yes, dear students, we call the parents and children all together family. They are family. Yes, parents and children all together are called family. The next question, how many students, this is many, how many students conduct your school assembly daily? How many students conduct your assembly daily, school assembly daily? How many students conduct your school assembly daily? And the answer is 3 to 5 students. Yes, you know very well, 3 to 5 students come to the stage on the platform, on the tower, an assembly ground, and they conduct assembly, national anthem, recitation of the Holy Quran, Mili Nagama, and dua, tab pe aati hai dua ban ke tamanna meri, like this, and 3 to 4 minutes speech also. They conduct assembly when you all the students gather in the ground and your school starts with assembly. The next question is, how many students are there in your class? How many students are there in your class? Very simple. Good. 40 to 50 students. So dear students, all these words which I have colored yellow, they show some group. You look here, group of parents and children, family, and group of students gathered somewhere, assembly, group of people, group of students, and again, how many students are there in your class? Class again is a group. So assembly, class, and family are the group words. Okay, so today our topic is collective noun. Collective noun is a noun that shows a group. Okay, just like family, class, assembly, these are the words we use as a group. Okay, so these are called collective noun. Definitions: name of group of things is called collective nouns. Name of group of things is called collective noun when we make a group of things which are similar to each other, just like a set. In mathematics you have studied set, well-defined things which are closely similar to each other, that is a group, and that group is in English grammar is called collective noun, and in mathematics you can say it a set as well. For example, family, assembly, class, committee, army, and police. Okay, many other examples: pack of hounds, hounds are the hunting dogs, as for group of these hunting dogs is called pack. Bunch of grapes, grapes, where you know, have you seen the grapes growing on its plant? Bunch, there are many bunch of keys, bunch of grapes, bunch of flowers, and school of whales. Whales, you know, the biggest fish in the sea is whale. Whale is a fish, kind of fish, mammal, just like fish. So group of whales is called school. Okay, school of whales. And shoal of fish, when there are many fish, when there is a group of fish, we will say it is shoal. Okay, dear students, there are so many words like this we use for groups. These are few that I have used for example. And your Punjab textbook English grammar, at the end of the book there are many collective nouns. Okay, in the last part of your English grammar and composition Punjab textbook board, there are more than 100 collective nouns, so you can learn from there. Okay, now this is your activity. Fill in the blanks with the correct collective noun given at page 21 of the textbook. This is your textbook, page 21, chapter 2, Chinese New Year's, and at page number 21 there are some collective noun given, so you have to fill in the blanks. Okay, this is your activity. The next topic is and before going to next topic, I again ask you a few questions. How do you write a long word if there is not enough space at the end of a line? Dear students, when you are writing and there is very little space at the end of the line, and then how do you write a word? Do you leave that place or you write some word there? How do you write a very long word if there is a very little space at the end of the line? Shabash. Yes, and the answer is part on the first line and part on the next line. Yes, some letters, a few letters at the end of the first line, and the remaining letters, remaining syllables on the next line, at the start of the next line. Good. This is your routine of writing. The next question: have you ever written a word composed of two or more words? Normally we use single word, just like cat, dog, bag, chair, teacher, room, school, hospital. So these are single words. Have you ever used two or more words for one meaning, for one thing, for one noun? Shabash. Try to recollect. Good. Mother-in-law. Yes, mother-in-law is one word that is composed of more than one and two. There are three words in mother-in-law, and the next word is whiteboard. Yes, your whiteboard, your blackboard, the classroom where the teacher writes for you and he teaches you. So whiteboard is the compound word that is made of more than one words. So dear students, you see there is a special way of writing these compound words. You see this sign between the words, that's called hyphen. That is, this sign is called, this symbol, like dash, like a very segment, line segment, this is hyphen. So today we will study about hyphens. Understand? Very important thing this is. Use of hyphen. Number one, to join parts of a compound word. Yes, if there is a compound word, if there is a word which is made of more than one words, we join those words with the help of this hyphen. Just like mother-in-law, in pre-reading question you have seen mother-in-law, stepmothers. So this sign is hyphen. So this is the way of writing compound words. The next usage is to join more than one adjectives before a noun. You know, just like good boy, bad boy, tall boy, small boy. So boy is the noun and tall, small, those are the adjectives. So if we use more than one adjective before a noun, just like in this example, big white elephant, elephant is the noun. So big white elephant, so there are more than one word, big and white, so we will join them with the help of hyphens. Understand it, students? The next usage is to separate the letters of speech for special effects. See the example. They have killed my father. You see that every letter of the word we have joined with the help of hyphens. So many hyphens we have used between the letters, between the alphabets of the spelling of the words. So this is very special effects. In novel, in movies, when there is written, okay, and some special effects the speaker wants to show. For example, if he is terrified, if he is trembling, if he is feeling hesitation, feeling hesitation pronouncing the words, okay, if he is afraid to pronounce the words to give the information, so we write in this way in broken form to show that very special effect of the speaker. Understand this, students? You can say if someone is weeping and while weeping he pronounces some words, you know he can't pronounce the words with proper tone, with proper timing, so we write in this way to show that effects. The next usage is to join parts of a single word written on two lines. So this is very common, and while pre-reading we discussed this point. How do you write a word when there is very little space at the end of the lines? For example, he is always a good person, I concede. Suppose here the line ends and there is a little space, we are able to write only a few letters, few spellings, so we transfer the remaining part of this word to the next line. Does. He is always a good person, I consider him a noble person. Understand this, students? This is a very common way of writing the words at the end of the line, and when there is a little space at the end of the line, so we transfer the remaining part with a hyphen to the next line. Understand? There is activity. Make 10 words using hyphen. So this is your activity. You have to write 10 words using hyphen, and the next activity is write 2 sentences and 4 lines in such a way that one word go on at the end of the first line and the start of the second line, just like this, I consider. In this way you have to write 2 sentences on 4 lines, okay, in this way. Like I have written point number 4, I consider. You have to write 2 sentences in this way. Understand, dear students? And the next question is must, but we before going to start the topic, I will ask you again a few questions. If someone doesn't look around while crossing the road, how will you advise him? Okay, if someone doesn't look around while crossing the road, how will you advise him? Good. You will say, you must look around. You must look around. Understand? It is very necessary. You must look around. Okay, you should not ignore at all. It is necessary, otherwise you will have accident. You must look around. Next question, if someone says prayer without ablution, wuzu, okay, without formal washing, ablution, wuzu. If someone says prayer without ablution, what advice will you give to him? Dear students, please tell me. Yes, definitely we will ask him, you must make ablution before saying prayer, okay, because it is necessary. Without ablution, prayer is nothing, okay. So our topic is use of must. Now we will study how we use the word must. The first usage is very strong obligation. Strong obligation mean that is very necessary. If you don't do that thing, you will have some loss, okay. This is obligation that we cannot ignore at all. You must make ablution before saying prayer. Understand? You must make ablution before saying prayer. As example, she must study to pass exams. Yes, definitely. If she wants to pass the exam, she must study. It is very necessary. Without studying, it is impossible for her to pass the exam. Understand, dear students? Strong obligation, just like ablution is obligatory before saying prayer, and without ablution, without washing, without wuzu, you cannot say prayer, okay. It's not allowed. So it is strong obligation. Understand the use of must. So for strong obligation, we use the word grammatic modal verb must. The next usage is surety of someone's being or presence. Yes, if you are sure that the person at the other end, or the person who is being talked about, you know him, and you are sure that it is he or she, you can use the word must like this. For example, someone is knocking at the door, okay. The situation is someone is knocking at the door, and you say it must be Ali. So this is your guess, this is your idea, but this is not simply a guess, okay. This is the guess with surety, okay. You are sure, okay. There is some situation because of which you know very well that it must be Ali. You are sure that the person who is knocking at the door is Ali, so you will say it must be Ali, it must be Ali who is knocking at the door. Understand? You are sure that Ali is knocking at the door. So to describe, to express your surety, you will use the word must. Understand? Second example, who has stolen my pen? Who has stolen my pen? I'm sure. I'm 100% sure. Sharjeel must have done so. Yes, Sharjeel must have done so. Okay, this is your surety, okay. You are 100% sure that your Sharjeel has stolen your pen, okay. And if you are sure, you can say Sharjeel must have done so. Sharjeel must have stolen my pen. Sharjeel has stolen my pen. Understand? So this is surety. If you are sure about something, about someone, you can use the word must to describe that thing. The next usage is strong prohibitions. Prohibit means to forbid someone, to stop someone from doing something, okay. This is strong prohibition. If it is strong prohibition, then just like strong obligation, where you command, where you order to do something, okay, and here prohibition is the command not to do something. Understand? Let's see the example. You must not play with bad boys. Oh, bad boys. So, do you want to like to play with bad boys? No? Okay, and if you play with bad boys, what will happen? Yes, your parents will punish you. Your parents will be angry with you. Understand? So this is very strong prohibition. You must not play with bad boys. You must not. This is strong prohibition. Okay, strictly forbidden. You are not allowed at all to play with bad boys. So we will use the modal verb must. Okay, strong prohibition, strictly forbidden. You must not play with bad boys. Understand? Deduction. Deduction means to conclude, studying the situation, observing the situation, you come to a conclusion, you come to a final result, that's called deduction. And when you describe the deduction, when you talk about deduction, you use the word must. How do we use this word? Let's see. I have used all other keys. Now this is the last one. Okay, you are trying to open the door. There are many keys to the locks, and you have used all the keys. Okay, all the keys you have used, only one is left, and you can say it must be the real key to the lock. Yes, this is your deduction, because all the other keys you have used and they have not worked, they have not opened the lock, and this is the last one, and now you deduct, you come to the result, final result, that it must be the real key to the lock. So this is your deductions. And how do you deduct? Because you have studied all other keys. Okay, you have tried all other keys, they did not work, and now this is the last one. So because you already know that the key is there, but only one is left. Okay, so you conclude that it must be the real key to the lock. These students understand? So this was the use of must and must not. Now there is an activity for you. Fill in the blanks with the must or mustn't given at the page number 22 of the textbooks. Understand, dear students? Please try to do all these activities and complete the homework and write in your notebook. Thank you very much.